The urgency of what's going on right now. Today was a day of 10,000 tires burning as protection against the Israeli snipers. And a very important chant today was, today 10,000 tires burn, Palestinians will return. So that shows that air of determination. This is a continuing 45 days of actions, the Great Return March, and every Friday an escalation, and quite amazing creative tactics also going on, and enormous toll that it's taking. I think the count so far, and we don't know, even at the demonstration, one young Palestinian woman from Gaza received news of her childhood friend who just had died. So the toll is really coming in. But 8 Palestinians today, more than live ammunition, and we know last week 30,000 Palestinians holding the march in Gaza. There were more than 1,000 who were injured, and I think 18 killed. So the numbers are really escalating, and are part of these weekly marches, and very courageous actions to demand the internationally recognized right of return from very often almost within sight of villages that Palestinians were thrown out of in 1948. And today they face electrified fences on Gaza's eastern and northern side, and completely blocked by concrete walls on the south, and a naval blockade on the Mediterranean on every side. Even fishing boats fired on. So I don't want to really take more time on this, but the real question is how to continue the actions, the demonstrations today, the demonstrations last week, the demonstrations that will be upcoming, and also how to bring and highlight that it's overwhelmingly Palestinian children who are targeted, and that we also use this as an opportunity to remember Ahed Tamimi, now 17 years old and in prison. And Fatima has what is a very creative idea for this Monday that I hope we give a lot of attention to, because we want to focus on the Palestinian prisoners, the thousands and thousands of Palestinian prisoners that are held, even while we know that everyone in Gaza is a prisoner living in a concentration camp. So when we say free all the Palestinian prisoners, we also mean free Gaza.
I apologize for arriving to the meeting so late, and also for not being as well prepared as I had hoped. I was spending time with the friend who Sara mentioned from Gaza, who learned today while we were demonstrating that her friend, who I also knew but not nearly as well, the Gaza journalist Yasser Mertaja, had died from the wounds he received from Israeli gunfire earlier today. Presente. Moment of silence, please. All right. There's so much to say. What we've seen over the past week is like nothing I experienced during my time in Gaza. There were often demonstrations along the barrier, the Apartheid wall that Israel has erected to keep ethnically cleansed Palestinian refugees from returning to their homes. But none anywhere near this number ever approached the wall directly. What we're seeing now is tens of thousands mobilizing every week. And the plan is for the demonstrations to continue to grow up until Nakba Day, May 15th. And Israel has also escalated its repression. During my years in the Gaza Strip, I often saw gunfire. I saw demonstrators shot. The Israelis were very good at shooting Palestinians, but not foreigners. They would shoot the guy to my left, the guy to my right, but not me. However, these were typically wounds. They would aim for the legs, to maim, not to kill. Because, I suppose, they see the determination of the Palestinians in Gaza, their willingness to risk everything to attain their rights, they've chosen the strategy of massacres, which is it's not unprecedented, but it's a deviation from their normal practice. But we always knew that no one but Gaza was going to save Gaza, no one but the refugees were going to win return, and Palestine is breaking its chains.
Right.
The mobilization, as I said, is ongoing. We've only seen the first week of it, which was planned to be the smallest and tamest week. So these next few weeks are going to be a real all-hands-on-deck kind of moment. I want to ask all of you to keep Palestine in your thoughts, and while I know it's difficult for a crowd like this, as much as possible, keep your calendars open, because more things are going to happen. We're going to have more of these mobilizations. And in particular, I would ask all of you, and every organization represented here, to do what you can now to start mobilizing for May 18th, which will be the Nakba Day demonstration here in New York City.